Hey guys, how are you? This is your teacher Fred. Welcome to our channel. Today, we will talk about agriculture, particularly in identifying the types of orchards. But before that, I would like you to know that subscribing is free, and please hit the notification bell, like and share button to keep you updated to our future lessons. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go ahead and discuss about the types of orchard and how it is being done. However, what is an orchard? Let's define it first. Orchard is a piece of land where trees or shrubs are maintained for food or commercial production. Likewise, an orchard features big gardens for aesthetic and productive purposes. Orchards are often concentrated near a water source. Orchard owners mostly concentrate on particular species of trees or produce. Most of us loves planting trees and fruit-bearing trees, and it is very important for us to know the types of trees that we will plant. However, there are actually types of orchards, and these are the first is the fruit orchards. These orchards include facility that concentrates on growing tree-bearing fruits such as papaya, mango, orange, lime, and avocado. Second one is nut orchards. These orchards include facilities that produce nuts such as cashew, pecan, walnut, almond, cacao, and pine. And next is the seed orchards. These orchards focus primarily on growing trees that produce seeds sold for commercial distribution or resale purposes. They can be sold for agricultural companies or used for food production. And we also have other types of orchards, which are the Christmas tree farms and coffee producing farms. If we want to plant some trees, we need to know the appropriate trees for our orchard. However, there are some things to consider on the appropriateness of the trees for planting. They must have the following features. First is wide and deep root system to hold plenty of soil and water and withstand strong winds and typhoons. Next is strong roots to resist calamities and diseases, and enough foliage to provide shade. We also need to learn that when doing some orchard thing, there are some factors to consider in choosing fruit trees for your orchard. First factor is that you have to choose fruit trees which are suited to your location. Second one is choose trees based on your needs or market demands. Third one is consider how much effort you will exert. Plant the right fruits. Choose the best time for planting. Consider the climate in your area. For healthiest and tastiest fruit, choose the sunniest available planting location. It is also important to note that we need to gather data based on the following. First is location. This is where you want to plant the trees that you want to plant. Example of this is the hillside, slope, valley, and plain. The next one is climate. This pertains to the condition of the location where you want to plant your trees. Example of this is if it is cold, warm, dry season, or wet season. The third is the market demands. You also need to consider the market trends in a certain society. Example, what are the trends in your society for the whole year round? Or if it is also seasonal. Okay, after we gather the data, we will now prepare layout design of an orchard garden using the information. However, what is layout design? The layout design of an orchard refers to the fixing the position of trees in an orchard when planting a plantation. Thus, the layout of an orchard is very important to ensure proper growth of trees. Designing the layout of an orchard garden must have the following goals. To easily carry out orchard operations like intercultural and irrigation. To have an equal distribution of areas for each tree. To maximize the use of the area according to the different kinds of trees. And to make supervision more easy and effective. Orchard layout design. It would look like this. An orchard's layout contains the technique of planting trees systematically. With the help of this, there will be proper arrangement of trees. Here, the trees are planted in rows and distanced properly. Trees planted varies for types of method used, fruit type, and variety. We do have 5 layout design samples for an orchard. The first one is the rectangular method. This method is formed from 4 adjacent trees that are in a rectangular shape. Trees are planted in the same way as in square method, except the distance between the rows of trees are more than the distance of the columns. The advantages of this method is that the intercultural operations can be carried out easily. The irrigation channel can be made length and breadthwise, and the light can penetrate into the orchard through the large spaces between rows. And the disadvantages of this method is that there are large area between rows is wasted, intercropping is not practiced, and there is limited number of trees are planted. The next one is the square method. This is the simplest and easiest method. Trees are planted in square-shaped position with some distance measurement. The advantages of this method is that the irrigation channels and paths can be made straight, and it will be easy cultivation and spraying and harvesting operation, and it will have a better supervision and viewing of the entire orchard. However, the disadvantages is that it has limited trees can be planted in a given area, and a certain amount of space is wasted in the middle of 4 trees. The next method is the quincunx or diagonal method. In this method, trees are planted in the same way as in square method, except for the addition of a tree in the center of each square, called a filler crop. Trees with shorter life are placed in the middle, so by the time the main trees or main crop grown into full size, the central trees will have finished their life cycle. Examples of filler crops are papaya, guava, lime, plum, and peach. Examples of main crops are mango, jackfruit, and tamarind. The advantages of this method is that additional income can be earned from filler crop. almost double the number of trees can be planted initially. It has full use of the land as is possible, and the disadvantage is that skills are required to lay out the orchard, and the trees between may interfere the growth of the main crop, and it will have a difficulty in intercultural operations, and the spacing of the main crop is reduced if filler crop contains to grow. The next method is the equilateral triangle or hexagonal method. In this method, trees are planted at the corners of an equilateral triangle, where 6 triangles are joined forming a hexagon shape with a 7th tree in the center. Distances between and from the central tree are equal. Advantage of this method is that it is ideal for fertile soil and with source of water. More trees can be planted, in which 15% of it as compared to the square method. Some distance of plant can be maintained, more income can be obtained, and the disadvantages is that it will be difficult in intercultural operations, and the skill is required to lay out this orchard. And lastly, we have the contour or terracing method. The imaginary line connecting all points with equal elevation across slope is called contour. In this method, planting is done in hilly areas by slope from a baseline, maintaining a space on each row. Equal elevation at a distance is equal to plant spacing that is achieved with the help of dumpy level or similar instrument. Thus, contour lines become the row and are marked at the row-to-row distance. The advantages of this method is that it can be utilized in hilly areas and in leveled land. It also helps in controlling soil erosion. It also helps in the conserving of water. And the contour serves as easy path for movements on the hill slopes for various tasks in the orchard. More income can be obtained, and the disadvantages is that difficult laying out of contour lines and time consuming. It also requires special skills and instruments to make contour lines, lay out the method, and not equal row-to-row distance and adjustments may be required in the plant-to-plant distance. And lastly, the degree of slopes varies from the spot to spot, while the distance of row to row is not the same. And that is it for today, my dear friends. Next time, we will discuss about the proper way of planting or propagating trees and fruit-bearing trees. So, stay tuned in our channel for more learnings to come. Alright, I hope you learned something today. And I would like to say that you are really great. Thank you so much for listening. Take note that planting trees are very important in our community. Okay friends, thank you so much again for watching, and please continue to support our channel. Please don't forget to hit subscribe, like, and share. See ya later. Bye for now.